Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the second video, but I just wanted to have a brief overview of the trade that I took this morning based on intraday setups. Um, so I took two trades today. First one was the pound US dollar. I was targeting um, some previous market structure below these levels here. And so I use a sort of method of trying to sell around about the daily open and around about the true day open of the day, in hopes to target the move lower. As for example, when you get a day that begins with, if I give an example, a day that begins with the market moving um, higher first, then coming down, and then ending the day in sort of this fashion, in the same way that this has happened here. So you get a move higher, which in this case would be above the daily open here. You get all of this price action here, and then once the market is below the price action and has reached below the Asian range, you sort of enter here, and then you sort of ride the wave towards any targets down towards the bottom here. So in this instance, I targeted this previous level of liquidity down at the bottom here. I didn't want to target the Monday low because I thought price would be too far. So I ended up targeting here with my stop being somewhere around here. So today when I came in, I'm just going to remove all the drawings. When I woke up this morning, I saw that the market was had made an Asia range. So it had made this part of the Asia range. We were obviously in a bullish market, in a bearish market, sorry, and then the market was moving lower. So I basically entered around about here with my stop. So my stop was pretty high. So if the market had moved against me, it would have had to create a new daily high. And I would think that it would be reaching for sort of 134.90s or 135s. But the bearish sentiment was really strong today, so it immediately went in my favor. Had a bit of a retracement over lunchtime, and then continued on around about when the US markets opened. Had another bounce, and then followed in towards the end of the day, and it's having another bounce here, but it will end the day a lot lower. So yeah, I'll just briefly show you the two entries that I took, so you can see today. I took this sell here, so two sells, the GU sell. I'm just going to show you what that looks like on this chart. So I ended up taking this sell here. So I marked it out quite simply. My risk was this breaker here. So I think it might be an order block, but yeah, so the market broke this low here. And so I was looking at I was basically looking at getting so the break below here, the retest of this order block, and then the move lower. So I traded this all the way up to the level that I'm explaining here, so towards the end here. So it ticked me out, and then immediately reversed. So this was a obviously great position to have taken profits, because had I took profits a lot lower, then I wouldn't have got my fill. So just before the actual low itself. The other trade I took today was obviously the Euro JPY, which is basically exactly the same. Unfortunately for me, this Euro JPY trade went in my favor a little bit too quickly, and I'll explain why. So I also had this Euro JPY trade. As you can see, the market is making huge wicks to the downside, which means the daily range is usually quite wick. So the price, when the day opens, the price usually goes in one direction and then goes in the other direction, and then sort of ends the day somewhere around about the middle of the day. So again today, when it's in one direction, went into the other, and then sort of turned around. So it was just an oscillating, and you can basically see that on the daily range that it's doing so. So I should have been a bit more careful So what happened was, I woke up this morning, the market had done its move to the upside, so created a massive move to the upside, took out some liquidity here and here for the people that were shorting but had overnight stops. And then once, fair value gaps were formed and it broke structure to the downside, I entered basically around about here. So I entered on a retracement of this level here. I entered on a retracement of this fair value gap, right? And then I rode this market lower. Now my target was meant to be here, but I think I was a bit too greedy and I had set it a little bit lower. So I had set it all the way down here because I thought that this market would eventually just like fall. So currently it's in this massive retracement cycle where you could see a move to the upside quite aggressively. However, it's looking like it still doesn't want to sort of follow through. So I entered here on this OB, anticipating that we would get this move lower and that this would be the basically the high of the day would remain. And the market literally tagged me in and started to head lower. And in between this level and this level was only about basically just less than an hour. And obviously I had to head to work. So by the time I headed into work, the market had already retraced. So I had actually missed my opportunity to get to my 1 to 2. And so I had to leave the trade on, but once it made this reversal, it reversed and I sort of had to cover my position around about here. So the market did take me out eventually. It came back towards lunchtime, had a massive move to the upside, and then eventually fell again. So it's done exactly what the daily profile has suggested. Is it's made wicks to the bottom and the top end with no real conviction about where it wants to go. And you can see that I had this trade on. So if I show you from the 5-minute chart, I basically entered here. So I had entered there. I think it's probably better if I do this. I had entered there, had my stop above this high, and I was so close to getting my 1 to 2, but unfortunately I didn't get it. I think I must have got it only just. But I had placed my stop just a little bit higher so that I wasn't getting whipped out. So I wasn't able to get my 1 to 2. So in the end, it was a break-even trade. So whenever your trades go above 1R, it's always best to put your trade at break-even, because if the market reverses back against you, essentially what you've done is pretend you've bought at the 2R level and 1R and 0. So that is profit being taken out of your account. So you should always be careful of that. So yeah, we move on. I'm trading FundedNext accounts, so I'm currently doing the 15K challenge. So we'll see how this how I get on towards the end of the month. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.